Hey guys, today we're going to have a look at the mean and variance of the Bernoulli distribution, and it's basically a follow-on from last year when we did probability distributions and we found expected value, we found mean, and we found variance. So we'll be tapping into those formulas that we did last year for this. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a remember what it means to find the mean or the expected value, which we called EX. So I'm going to show you what the formulas are, and then we're going to have a little look, looking at our probability distribution table and prove why they are. So for Bernoulli distribution, the expected value EX is equal to P. So just a quick little reminder what we did last year. So to find our expected value last year in a probability distribution, our formula was this: sum of X times PX, wasn't it? Okay, so what we did, so for example in this one here, here's our X up the top, and let's say our probability was a quarter, a half. Okay, so remember we did last year, our expected value was 1 times 1/4 plus 2 times a quarter plus 3 times a half. Okay, we found expected value or mean last year using this formula. So now let's have a look at our Bernoulli distribution. So remember we only have two. We have our fail and we have our success. Okay, so using the notation we used in last lesson, if the probability of success is P, then the probability of failure is 1 minus P, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to use those here. So let's do our first one. We're going to do X, so 0 times the probability of that one. So let's go. So we've got 0 times 1 minus P plus for our sum. Let's do the next one. 1 times the probability, or X, which is 1, success, times the probability of getting a success is 1 times P. Okay, so let's have a look. 0 times anything, 0. 1 minus P, 1 times P is P. There we go. So there's our formula for expected value. So that's quite interesting. Our expected value, or the mean, of the Bernoulli distribution is actually equal to the probability of the success option, which is quite weird, isn't it? There you go. The mean is the probability of success. Right, let's now use this table we had over here for our Bernoulli distribution and have a look at our variance. Okay, so our variance is given by this formula here, P times 1 minus P. So we're going to have a look at the formula we used last year to find out variance X. So our variance X, using the one we used to do the maths, the formal formula we did was messy, and we ended up spotting that we had a easier one. We had the variable minus the mean, the EX, squared, and then we times it by the probability of the X. Okay, so let's now use that. So over here, let's do our first one. So we've got X, let's do the 0 times the expected value. What's our EX here? Our EX is P, isn't it? Okay, so our first line here is going to be 0 minus P squared times the P of X. Well, what was the P of the failure? The P of the failure is 1 minus P. So times that by 1 minus P. There we go. So I've just done this one here. Okay. The X was the 0 and the P of X was the 1 minus P. Okay. Now we're going to do it for the success. So there is our X and the probability of X, P. Okay. So let's do that. So we've got plus for our sum. So we've got 1 minus P. 1 minus P squaring it times P. Our 1, remember, comes from the 1 there, the 0, that's the X, came from the 0 there. All right, so now a little bit of neatening up. Let's play with that. So 0 minus P is minus P squared, which is just good old P squared times 1 minus P, plus P times, let's expand this baby here. So we got 1 minus 2P plus P squared. If we expand, let's expand and simplify that. So what do we got? P squared minus P cubed plus P minus 2P squared plus P cubed. What do we got? What's happening there? Minus P cubed plus, they cancel out, don't they? So P squared minus 2P squared is minus P squared. And then we got plus P. So we end up with basically P minus P squared, which is P outside of 1 minus P. And there is our variance. Okay. So that's nice and easy. So all we're doing is basically taking the probability of success and multiplying it by the probability of the failure. That's kind of easy, isn't it? Okay. Right, so let's have a look at a couple of these here. Find the mean and variance of these Bernoulli distributions. So one of them, I've started with this one here, the probability table, and I've written the other one as a function, probability function. Okay, so let's start over with the probability table. So let's start off our mean, which we can write as E of x, is equal to P. And remember, P is the probability of success. 1 is our success. So what is the probability of our success? 0.6. So our expected value, or our mean, in this case, is 0.6. Let's have a look over here. Our mean, or our expected value, our EX, is equal to P. P is the probability of success when x is 1. Probability of success here is 3/5. So in this case, our EX equals 3/5. Okay. Let's do our variance. Okay. Our variance, we found out, is P times 1 minus P. Now, remember what that is. That is the probability of success. That is the probability of our failure. So that's pretty straightforward. What's the probability of success, which is 1? 0.6 times. What's the 1 minus P, the probability of our failure? There it is there. There's our failure, which is 0.4. So we got 0.24. Let's have a look at this one. So our variance, I should have put my notation, var x is P times 1 minus P. All right, P is the probability of success. Where's the probability of success? There it is. X equals 1, so 3/5. Times 1 minus P is the complement, or the probability of the failure. The probability of our failure is 2/5, the complement. 2/5. There we go. So that's pretty straightforward. So we've got 3 2s are 6 over 25. And there is our mean and variance of Bernoulli distributions written in a variety of ways. All right, guys, I've highlighted some questions in 15.01 for you to have a play with. I'll see you next week. Bye.